In this demo, let's automate using Logic Apps Automation. Remember those prerequisites we just talked about? Watch what it takes to get started now. I open my browser, go to Azure.com. It's hosted outside of Azure. The landing page gives you a quick glimpse into the product capabilities. Let's sign in. All you need is your Enter ID. After login, you land in a page that shows all your projects. Inside Project, you can have one or more applications and other shared resources like Sandbox, models, network policies. Project admins can add developers to the projects and give them permissions depending on their role and required activity. Let's talk about Sandbox. It's an isolated environment to run GitHub Copilot agents with native file, shell, and web operations with isolated execution. These agents have native capabilities to write code dynamically and support skills and MCPs for their reasoning and actions. The sandbox is configured at the project with repositories, skills, and other context. Inside a project, you have one or more applications. Apps are where developers build. Each app holds its workflows, connections, parameters, an analytics dashboard, and its own permission model, reader or contributor, so you can collaborate without exposing the rest of the project. Let's go ahead and create workflow inside the application. So I'll first create my workflow by describing it in natural language. The agent will analyze this request and scaffold a workflow. The generated workflow still needs its connections updated, but a lot of the work is already taken care of by Copilot, picking the connectors and configuring many of the parameters. From here, I can iteratively build and test the workflow with Copilot's assistance. When asked to write code, Copilot added the action and wrote JavaScript code with appropriate exception handling. Developers can make updates at the workflow scope, or go to the action scope and have Copilot make action-specific updates. We use a default LLM that's hosted for you, but you can use your GitHub account to bring in additional models, including both first-party and third-party models. Here's a workflow I've already built for invoice processing. Real-world problems most of the time need to be solved with a combination of deterministic steps and AI reasoning. That's the power of workflow automation here. In this workflow, ServiceNow ticket creation and Salesforce update are deterministic steps. The Invoice agent is provided a system prompt describing its goals. The agent here is built on the GitHub Copilot SDK and runs on a sandbox, the isolated compute per workflow configured at project. The business context like invoice and skills for validation and notification are provided to the agent here. You can even provide GitHub or Azure DevOps repositories. After the invoice validation process completes, we again have a set of deterministic steps to update Salesforce and close the ticket if the invoice was approved. Alongside the visual workflow, the code view shows an editable view into the same workflow. You can make updates in code view and see the workflow update in real time. Copilot Assistant can be used here too, to write JavaScript expressions or code. Being able to scope Copilot to a specific action lets you make targeted, action-specific updates. Here the agent is responding with code in the scope of JavaScript action. I can have multi-turn conversations with agent to iterate over code. When an invoice is received, the workflow triggers and the run history shows full traceability and auditability into every step. With real-time streaming capabilities, you can view into each step while it's happening. For an agent node, you can visually see in real time the tools it's using to accomplish tasks. Every step of the workflow is logged with inputs and outputs, execution time, and status. Agent outcomes are logged, including the token utilization at each step. That's Logic Apps Automation. Low barrier to entry with same enterprise rigor. Preview is live today, and we can't wait to see you build with it.